So NVIDIA just showcased their new DLSS 5 tech, and boy, did it spark some conversation online. I have some thoughts on it, and I thought we'd go through some of the stuff. And here on NVIDIA's website, we have some of the examples that they put out: Resident Evil Requiem, Starfield, Hogwarts. A lot of heated conversations. Some people like it, some absolutely despise it already. My first initial thought, I actually saw this on Digital Foundry's video. The first thought for me was this is kind of what I've been looking for when doing my short films, my Unreal Engine animated stuff. Because I'm working alone as a solo filmmaker, and I want to like do things fast. And I've always sort of like envisioned this, like I could use AI just as a render engine, and I could just set up all the shots, do the characters, do the lighting and the camera work, and then just get AI to do this final sort of polish on top of it. And this is kind of it. But first of all, I'm not sure if this could be used sort of like offline rendering kind of stuff using the same NVIDIA Streamline framework. I'm not familiar with this framework, so I don't know. But looking at the games here, I recently played Resident Evil Requiem. Absolutely loved it. But like this example, Grace here is supposed to be played in first person mode. So when you switch it to third person and then turn the camera on her, the lighting and the shading isn't super good. I don't know if this is from the actual game just as it is, or if it's somehow modified. But then when you sort of like turn the DLSS 5 on, it changes dramatically how she looks. And it was said that it's completely based on the geometry that's underneath it, that this is not supposed to sort of invent any new shapes, if you will. But either this is not the exact same frame, or it does like actually change it a lot. And while like if I was just presented with this image, I would probably be like, cool, looks good. There's a little bit of that mid-journey-ish kind of thing going on here. But it's not as pronounced here as I think with other examples. But then when you know the original, I don't know. It changes a lot. And if you look at the other examples, like here, like I know this scene from the game. She's actually looking into a dark room. So this thing has no idea what she is looking at, the DLSS 5, but it still like emphasizes this. There is a highlight there already, but it's very subtle. But this is just like turns it up to 11. And it's not really actually kind of motivated by the scene. And while we do stuff like this in film as well, we fake stuff to make it look good, I'm just not sure. Something about the lower teeth as well change. I mean, the skin texture looks good, I think. The hair doesn't change too much. Actually, that introduces some artifacts here. And the texture on the lips is good. So it's mostly just these highlights on the skin texture that it sort of like brings out, which is nice. This is a little flat as it is. But again, this game is gorgeous. It's one of the best looking games ever, I'd say. So I'm not sure if this is like necessary. if this is needed at all. But here, some like Starfield. Starfield is not the greatest looking game on its own. And again, this changes quite drastically. But somewhere like Starfield, I might consider playing the game like this, sort of out of curiosity. But it's not super necessary. And this one was, I think this one just like took it too far. Same as this one. Let's look at this. I think this is stylized image. And this just brings out like too much detail. It goes into that, well, people say uncanny territory, but it looked like some sort of like filter was cranked up like way too much. And it loses some of the aesthetic appeal of like the original vision. But here, I think like in the corner here, but you can see this, like the shadow changes a lot. And I feel like the original is more of this nice, more of a golden light, afternoon sunlight thing. And then this just sort of brings out much more of the ambient lighting. And it changes the mood. Like this is more, I'd say, cloudy, more cooler. It's not quite the same. Here we have the Digital Foundry, again, the same part with grace. But let's look at the, here they're showing the Oblivion, and this has the same issue with the mood changing a lot, I think. Like the original is like this more lush, more warm, and then it's just like washes it out, this very sort of like cloudy, like ambient lighting. This to me looks better. Maybe not as realistic, but it looks better. In the Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think this part looks okay. It's a little bit of that same kind of a like washing out. Like there's less like contrast and like directionality to the light. This looks more exciting to me. This looks more real, but when it's off, it looks more exciting. And then on this side of the frame, the same thing. It just takes something out of it. Something that makes it feel art directed and special, and it makes it just boring real world. This is kind of the same effect as, you know, we're seeing with like cinema. Like everything is being lit so very safely for Netflix and HDR, and there's not those cool dramatic shadows that we used to see on film. This is kind of the same effect, I feel. So yeah, this tech is still very fresh, you know, very much straight out of the box, and it's going to develop, it's going to get better. And what sort of gives me hope is this line here: blending the handcrafted rendering with generative AI to deliver a dramatic leap in visual realism while preserving the control artists need for creative expression. This gives me hope, like you can adjust it and fine tune it to your liking as a creator. We'll just have to wait and see what comes out of this. Obviously, like Capcom and Bethesda are on board with this, so they're seeing the value of it. And maybe they know more than we do. Maybe they've seen sort of like under the hood what it can do for them. If used sparingly with good taste, I'd say, and by the original creator. This could be a good thing. Interesting, technically, for sure. But if it's just this sort of like AI filter that we just slap onto everything from now on, then no, hard pass. As a creator myself, making my little short films, if I could use this as a tool, like I mentioned, the sort of like AI rendering engine to help me, like get there faster, like to a great end result, then I might try it. I see potential, but I also see, the uncanny AI slop valley very heavily as well. So we'll just have to wait and see what comes out of this. So I thought I'd share my thoughts on this, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. So let's talk in the comments.